Hi, this is Marilyn Wilson. I am the author of Life Outside the Box, The Extraordinary Journeys of 10 Unique Individuals. I'm here with Julie Salisbury. She is the founder of Influence Publishing and InspireABook workshops. She is also my publisher, and also her workshops are the reason I managed to make my first book a reality. So we're here today to learn about one section, the live workshop, which is what I took. This is part of a series. If you missed the first video, the introductory one, the giving an overview, I suggest you go to the YouTube channel, Julie Salisbury, and watch that because there's a lot of information there too. So welcome, Julie.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Okay, so today we're talking about the live workshops. And so right now those are in Vancouver, but you're hoping to start taking them around other places. So how did you develop them, and why did you move from a 2 to a 3-day workshop?
Okay, well, you know, the 2-day workshop, I had a lot of people telling me it was a very intensive process because I really take them right through to plan the whole book. I developed it when I was actually working on my own book 10 years ago. So because my background is product development, I actually took the process of how I would bring a product to market. And that process is basically identifying your reader, identifying what they want. And so I help people through that whole process. And the 2 days was just a little bit too intensive because there's a lot of homework. And
yes, I remember. I remember burning the midnight oil.
Yes, exactly. So, and I did tell people that it was intensive,
but
I do appreciate that perhaps for some people that's a bit too much. So that's why we're now offering it as a 3-day workshop.
Oh, that's great.
So that you can do more of the interactive exercises actually in the workshop itself.
Okay. You've also added an element as well to help people once they're published. What is that extra element?
Well, I did a TED Talk a couple of months ago, and I learned so much from that TED Talk, and I really realized that the platform of the book is really the perfect place to transform into a speech, and particularly a TED Talk.
Okay.
So I've added that to the curriculum so that we have a little bit more time on the content, but also so that we can actually look at how are you going to take the content from your book and actually turn it into a speech.
So who should come to this? Like, should they have their book done? Should they have an idea? Where should they be in the process? You know,
the people that I really encourage to come are those that are just starting out.
Okay.
You know, they've just got ideas, and they're looking for direction, and they're thinking, I want to get started. I've got this book idea. I've got some content. You know, I've maybe got journal notes. I've got web content, and I don't know where to start. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that have got halfway through the process and they've got stuck. Right, and that's very common because it's easy to get started because you can the flow of the writing is easy, but then you get to a point where you go, now what? Where do I go from here? Because they haven't got a structure. Right? So for those people, it's really useful because I'm actually helping people put together the whole structure and flow of the book and the purpose of the book.
Yes.
And so therefore, if you have got to that point where you've got stuck, it's brilliant for that because it brings you a lot of clarity. And for some people, they come to me and they've actually finished the whole manuscript.
Wow.
But now they don't know what to do with it.
Okay.
And that can be a challenge sometimes because those types of people have actually run ahead and created a book, but with no idea as to who's going to read it or why they would want to read it. And often that means that they've got a little lost in the writing of the book, and they've forgotten that you're writing a book to be of service to people. And so a lot of those people, the content is it's not necessarily to the benefit of the reader.
Yes.
So so I'm not saying they have to start again, but they do have to do more rewriting and re-look at the structure and the purpose of the book. So I think there's that person it's of great benefit for them. but it can be a little frustrating. So
yeah, what kind of things do you do over the course of the 3 days? Like I can tell you what I did. I don't know if it's all still the same, but what kind of activities do you bring into this?
well, one of the things that I do actually on the second day is a mind mapping exercise.
Okay.
And that is because, Ray Bradbury said that a good writer is one that can throw up and then clean up.
I agree with that. I call it vomiting on page.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So basically,
Yeah.
I encourage you, and you do this on the first evening. So this is one of your homework exercises. Is that you vomit on the page. You throw up all of your ideas for your book, all of them.
Yeah.
And then you come the following morning with, people come in with big flip chart pads with just scribbles, and they're like, I have no idea how you're going to make sense of this. And I'm like, well, that's why you've come to the workshop, because this is the cleaning up part.
Yeah.
And so that's where I actually go through each of these mind maps with each person. And from those mind maps, I find the whole structure of the book.
Yeah.
And I do that so that we can understand, well, this bit doesn't link in, doesn't belong. And this is what happens is we get kind of distracted. We've got all these ideas in our head. We have no idea what we should include the book and what we shouldn't include the book and how they're going to sort of link together and how they're going to transition. And so this mind mapping exercise really helps people to get absolute clarity.
Wow.
Absolute clarity.
Wow.
So, and this is how basically they come up with a chapter plan. So after they've done that exercise, we then pull out literally chapter titles and writing points for each of those chapters.
Wow.
So people go away with a complete writing plan for their whole book.
Yeah. What else do they come away with? I know I came away with a lot. You walk away with a lot of stuff laid out, and it's not the writing of the manuscript, so I think it's very important to be clear.
Yes. It's what the industry calls metadata, and it's what actually...
I've never understood that word. Okay.
And it's what actually sells the book.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to... you've heard that whole old saying, don't judge a book by a cover.
Yeah.
Which of course is garbage, because how else are you going to judge a book? It's a bit like buying any product, perfume or anything, right?
Yeah.
You only have the packaging to explain what's inside that box or package. So a book is exactly the same. And so I've seen so many amazing books, and I know you have, because you review a lot of books.
Yes.
So you've seen a lot of amazing books that are completely covered up by really bad packaging, bad titles, bad book cover designs, bad synopsis, bad fonts,
wrong margins.
Yeah, it totally ruins the book, right?
Yes.
Completely. And honestly, that's to me, that's heartbreaking when someone's maybe spent 2 years putting all their wisdom and knowledge into a beautiful book, and then because the book doesn't explain what it's about or who it's for or what they're going to actually get from the book, the reader doesn't buy it. And and on Amazon you've got 23 million books.
I look at a cover first, the picture, and then I read the back, and then I decide. So because at the workshop we really understand what we're writing, why we're writing, who we're writing it for, and what the purpose of the book is. From that, you can create all this essential metadata. So you go away at the end of the workshop with a working title, a working subtitle, a headline for the book, which you can also use in all of your email campaigns and newsletters and things like that. A really well-written synopsis that's got loaded with all the necessary keywords that you need so people can find you. Same with the author bio. So you go away with an author bio, which again is relevant to the book. Right? I don't. How many books have you read where you read the bio and it talks about maybe it's a book about being surviving cancer, for example. And the bio talks about their degree in engineering and the fact that they've got 4 children, and it's like, what's that got to
do with the book, right?
So you make sure all the pieces tie together.
Make sure all those pieces tie together.
There's quite a binder you come out with. What's in that binder? I know it's got places for chapters and information on fonts and
it's pretty substantial. I don't have it with me, but some of the other videos show the binder. It's a sort of leather look. It almost looks like a briefcase. It's quite large.
A book in a binder.
It's a book in a binder. And the idea is that you can actually build your book in this binder, right? So you have chapter dividers. And then this is where you also take information off your mind map, so you actually plot what's going to go in each chapter. Yeah. So effectively, every day that you come to do your writing, you can use this format, this template. And actually, you don't have to write the book in sequential order.
That was the one that surprised me.
Well, you see, if you know where you're going, then you don't need to write you don't need to like start at the beginning and then go 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. If you know where you're going, you can actually write the last chapter first.
And there's some good points to that.
Yes, actually, many of my authors that get stuck starting, that's what I encourage them to do. I say, look,
good idea.
Do the last chapter first, because generally that's like where they are right now, and then they're reflecting back where they came from. So it's a lot easier to do that than go back where you were 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and then try and remember, and then try and get to where you are right now. So it's actually easier to, in our minds, to go back.
So the other thing is you cover all kinds of publications so that people, this isn't just designed so they sign with Influence Publishing. This is designed for different types of publishing. What do you cover?
Absolutely. One of the reasons why I really do this is so that anybody who wants to write and publish a book can do it with any budget. So, you do this workshop, you've got all the information you need to be able to do it on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
I mean, you could literally come out of the workshop and spend very little money.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say you still need a professional typesetter, and you still need a good book cover designer.
Good editing.
And good editing.
But it's your choice.
But it's your choice. It's your choice completely, right? So, I mean, you might say, you know what, I've just started out on my business. I don't have all this money, but I'm just going to do an ebook and I'm going to upload it, on CreateSpace or Kindle or something like that. That's the real budget version.
Yeah.
But at least I know in my heart that I've given you enough information to know that you're going to do that professionally.
Yes.
Right? You will have a good title. You will have the right keywords. You will have a good author bio, right? You will have a good cover design
and focus to the book.
And good focus to the book.
Yeah.
But for those people that are really serious about the book becoming their platform, then I would give you all the other options that you can use for publishing, and one of those is partnering with Influence Publishing. But that's not my number one goal, because I've changed the structure of my company, so I take on very limited personal clients now to partner with for publishing. So my goal is really to make this much wider, available to more people with more publishing options.
Okay, we've got people out there that would love to sign up today. How do they sign up for the live workshop?
Okay, so you go to www.InspireABook.com and go to the tab which says Webinars and Workshops, and all the information on the 3-day workshop is on the workshop page.
So they're in Vancouver right now, but you are hoping to expand that to other cities in the future?
Yes, what I've realized is that, and Vancouver is quite wide, so I'm actually rotating cities in Vancouver. So there will be, workshops in Surrey and Richmond, as well as on the North Shore, potentially Bowen Island as well, so that we can cover as wide an area in the Greater Vancouver area. But my dream longer term is that I can actually go traveling with this, I've already been talking to several people in the US, in the southern states, particularly in the winter, and Arizona at this time of year is very attractive.
Oh, jeez, I love it. we also have some info sessions coming up in the Vancouver area. These are free. How do they sign up for them? Because it does require a reservation.
It does, because actually it has a ticket value of $79.
Wow.
So,
but the ticket's free.
If only if you go and download a complimentary ticket,
Yes.
because you've watched this video.
Okay, and how do they do that?
So you go to, again, InspireABook.com, and you'll see info talks on the tab, and you can go to that page, and then there's a register button there to
By
download
dates.
your complimentary ticket.
Now, for people out of the area, I know that we live streamed the last one and had a video of it. Where can they watch that video?
On that same page, so under
Okay.
info talks on InspireABook.com, right at the bottom is the actual live stream of the last info
Great.
session.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Again, we do have an intro video that I suggest you watch that covers all the webinar and live workshop options, and we have 2 more videos we'll be uploading in the next little bit on the different webinars that are available. Thanks for joining us.